Hello friend, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. Also, please excuse the hair. It was either I was gonna do my makeup or do my hair. I decided to pick my makeup, threw it into a messy blend when I went to Pilates, and then I also cleaned the bathroom. So, you know, we're gonna pretend it's more like Pamela Anderson than Rat's Nest, okay? Today's video. If you've watched my channel for a while, you know I love doing product empty videos. Product empties are basically I save products that I've finished, so that way we can talk about it together. And I love doing these videos because since I've used the whole entire product up, I have a really good idea of whether or not I like the product. The issue is that I have been going through product faster than I can review it because I was only doing videos on YouTube every couple of months. So in total, I have almost 4 bags worth of product. The model that I've been doing, and it's not sustainable. Moving forward, I'm going to be doing monthly product empties on my TikTok and Instagram. So if you don't follow me there already, please do. And then maybe at the end of the year, I'll make a compilation out of all 12 months for a YouTube video. But that does not solve the backlog. We're going to do a 2-part video of getting through my backlog of product empties so that way I can clear them out of my closet and be done with them. The really good thing is that I took notes, so even though some of these products I haven't used in like a year, at least I have notes and know what I thought about them when I did use them. So today's video is going to be all about skincare because skincare is by far the category that I have the most empties. And then my part 2 video, I'm going to do hair care, makeup, and miscellaneous. My miscellaneous is mainly shower gels, body lotions, some perfume, that type of stuff. Today's video, like I said, we're gonna do skincare. So let's get into it. To make things a little easier, I organized all of the products into categories. We're gonna kind of go through a routine. That way I can really like compare and contrast some of these products of like, here's all my moisturizers that I finished and like which ones are actually good and which ones aren't. We got 3 makeup removing products. First, as you can see, I didn't finish this because it was not very good. This is a Dirty Lamb Apricot Cleansing Oil. So I have to use so much oil to be able to remove any makeup, and it's really oily and it leaves my skin feeling oily. And it's like I almost need a second cleanser just to be able to remove this oil. It's a horrible job of removing makeup, which is why I'm throwing it away even though I didn't even finish it. It just was not good. It's not very often I have products that are just a complete fail, but this one is for me. And then we have 2 cleansing balms. Cleansing balms and cleansing oils I like pretty equally. I don't really have a preference for one or the other. Actually, no. I do think I prefer cleansing oil just because it's easier to like pump out oil instead of having to dig a little balm. I find both formulas effective. We have a drugstore version. This is actually, no, they're both drugstore. Yes, I was trying to find some affordable options. So this is the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm, and this is the Naturium Purple Ginseng Cleansing Balm. I got them both at Shoppers. This one is definitely a little bit more on the expensive side at like $30, and this is like under $10 or something like that. I would say both of them are like good, but not like the best cleansing balms I've ever had. Honestly, similar remarks for both of them. And you just kind of really need to work the eyes to be able to get mascara off, and you definitely need to like second cleanse, feel really clean. I think out of the 2, I think this one was just a little bit better, but otherwise they're still both pretty good cleansing balms. I can barely hold all of my cleansers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ones here. I have 2 of this one. So I think my 2 favorite out of the 6 are these 2. This is a Caudalie Phena Perfect and the First Aid Beauty Deep Cleanser with Red Clay. This one is a little bit more on the gentler side, even though I do think it has salicylic acid. And same with this one. It does have ingredients that are supposed to be good for oily, prone, acne prone skin, even though I will say that they're not the most like intense acne cleansers I've used, but they're still pretty good for like day-to-day use. They both smell nice, they both lather up really well, leave my skin feeling clean but not dry. Both of these I would consider buying again in the future. My only gripe with this one is that it does have a red color, so sometimes it like just leaves little marks and gribblies in your sink. But yeah, otherwise pretty good. Even if you had like combo skin, I think these both be good cleansers and would recommend both of them. And then up next for my like, they were like good, but nothing to write home about, we have the Glow Recipe Avocado Ceramide Moisturizer Barrier Cleanser. That's a mouthful. And then I have 2 of these Inky Less Fulvic Acid Cleansers. These are the travel size, so I was using these as travel cleansers. I think I bought one of them and one I got in my Sephora advent calendar, and my thoughts were the same for both of these. Usually I prefer something that has more active ingredients to help with my acne, and these were just like a little bit more gentler. I will say these ink lace ones were the best for just removing makeup. I would use this as a second cleanser, not a first cleanser. This I used in the shower, so it was pretty gentle. Both were good, but I wouldn't repurchase either of them. My like bottom of the list, this is a JLo Beauty That Hit Single Gel Cream Cleanser. And this one I didn't even finish. This is a Lise Earle Cleanse and Polish Hot Cloth Cleanser. I actually got this in Ireland. I'll start with this one. I was a little disappointed because the sales lady in Ireland recommended this because this apparently is a really good brand there, and I did not like it. I'm not really a big fan of the like hot cloth cleansers because technically you're not supposed to wash them with water, but like a hot cloth, more of like a spa experience, which I just don't find very practical for every day. And it also broke me out, so I didn't finish it. I'm just decoloring it. This was also another shower cleanser for me. It was like decent and lathered up really well, didn't strip my skin. My biggest complaint is that it ran out of the packaging very easily, like it was very runny. The opening, even though it's really small, you literally would just like unscrew the cap and it would just like start falling out. And actually I one time accidentally didn't close the cap all the way and it literally just started like pouring out and everywhere. So it's mainly just like the packaging design I'm not a huge fan of, and yeah, I just have other cleansers that I like more than this one, so I wouldn't repurchase or recommend. Next we have 2 scrubs, and honestly I wasn't a big fan of either of these that much. This is a Dew of the Gods Polishing Face Scrub Squalene Plus Oat, no, it's probably oat oat microdermabrasion. And then a more affordable one, this is the Pacifica Glow Baby Super Lit Exam Scrub. I do enjoy a good exfoliating, something that has a little bit of like a physical exfoliating properties. I try to use it like 1 to 2 times a week, and yeah, both of these were kind of like meh. This one I think was breaking me out because back in the spring I was like doing a lot of traveling, and kind of every single time I would come home I would use this cleanser and then it would break out. And at first I thought it was like from the traveling, but then after a while I realized it was this, and at that point I was basically done. But I switched and used the rest of it on my body instead of my face. And it's funny because I noticed more ingrown hairs when I was using this on my body. I just don't think this was a good one. I wouldn't recommend. The Pacifica one wasn't as bad. I just didn't feel like it was enough, especially because this does have chemical exfoliating properties. It has glycolic acid. I've used other scrubs that have done a better job of leaving my face feel smooth. Like it's good, like it's vegan, cruelty-free, available at the drugstore. I just have ones I think I like more. I think the Dermalogica one is still like my top one that I've used, which I know is more expensive, but you only use it a couple times a week. It goes a long way. Anyways, that's all to say, it was fine. And next we have 2 toners. This one, if you've followed my channel, you know it's my absolute fave. This is a Paula's Choice Holy Grail. I've already repurchased it. It does a really good job of helping with my texture without drying out my skin, because a lot of toners can be very drying. It's actually more of like a creamy formula. It's really good. But I did get this in a subscription box. If you are like OG follower, you remember my BoxyCharm videos, and I still do get it. I just don't really talk about it much online. But yeah, a lot of times when there's like random products from my subscription box, I'm probably gonna cancel it soon, but I just haven't bothered yet. So this is a Biro, I think that's how you say it. The Pro Berry Pore Toner. And I think now that I've discovered really good toner, it's hard to live up to the Paula's Choice, and this one definitely didn't. I've noticed a lot of texture, especially around my chin area, that this just like didn't clear up. It didn't bring me out, but it still didn't do a really good job, so I won't be repurchasing. Oh, actually I have one more toner, but as you can see I didn't finish this one. This is a Moon Juice Acid Potion, but this is very bad. It broke me out really bad. I also even tried, because I've heard some people say that if you have a toner you don't like and you want to try and use it up, using it on your armpits is a really good way to use it up. It's literally burning my armpits. They were all red. and was getting a rash. So I don't know what they put in this product, but it's super duper strong. So it's not for me. If you have sensitive skin, avoid it. Next into my routine, we've got some facial sprays. Usually after toner, I'll use a facial spray before going in with my hyaluronic acid. So I have two. This is the Avenue Eau Thermale. This skin wasn't very cheap, but it lasted me a really long time. So I think I definitely got my money's worth out of it. I like the aerosol spray. It's very like fine mist. I would recommend it and I would definitely repurchase it. Currently, I'm using a Caudalie grape water. You know, this one, Caudalie. I haven't tried the La Roche-Posay one yet. I think I will. But yeah, I wanted to try like a cheaper one. I got this one at Walmart. This is the Apto Skincare Turmeric Mist. It was good, but my biggest complaint is that the mist wasn't that fine and it actually broke. So I had to transfer this to a different bottle to be able to use it. So yeah, because the nozzle broke on me, I'm a little hesitant to buy it again. And I think I'd rather pay a little bit more for like a product that actually works. So, well, it wasn't bad. I won't repurchase, but I definitely would be curious to try more from this brand. They were pretty affordable, like I said, at Walmart. Now we got just like a bunch of different serums. I wanted to put them all together, so we might bounce around a little bit. First, we have this one, which I decluttered. This is the Earth Harbor Nebula Adaptogen Clarity Ambule. Yeah, it broke me out. And I will say, I don't necessarily have the most sensitive skin, but it's like, you know, I'm not someone who gets like really dry, flaky, or rashes, but I am sensitive when it comes to acne causing stuff. Yes, I've been on a real journey to try and like cut things out of my skincare routine that break me out. This one I think is vitamin E. Yeah, I think that's why it was breaking me out. Also, I think I've mentioned this in a couple other videos. There's this one website called Acne Clinic NYC. I saw it from another influencer that you basically can like put copy and paste the ingredient list of skincare products into it, and they'll let you know if there's any commonly causing acne ingredients. And they typically say that like something has like 2 or more to like watch out. Also, it depends on like where they are in the list, because similar to food, something at the top of the list has more of it than at the bottom of the list. So there's like a couple at the bottom. It's not a big deal. The only thing about the website is that they don't list vitamin E as an acne causing ingredient. And like I said, I have issues with vitamin E. So sometimes things pass the test and I use it and I find out it has vitamin E. I'm like, that's why. My other issue with this is that it did not match the description. This was supposed to be a lightweight, fast absorbing oil, and I found it was really heavy. Took a while to absorb. Like I would try to use like the smallest amount and it was still too much. So maybe if you have more dry, acne prone skin, you would like it, but it didn't like it at all. Okay, we got 2 different vitamin C's here. First, we have the Glossier Super Glow Vitamin C plus Magnesium Serum. Pretty underwhelmed by it. Like, it was nice, but with the name of like Super Glow, I assumed my skin would look super glowy, and it just didn't deliver that. If anything, I found that the magnesium was like a little mattifying. Like, I put it on and I just didn't glow as much because I always would put this on after my hyaluronic acid. It's just like not the most potent vitamin C serum I would have ever used. And it also smells like magnesium. Like, you know, like the scent of like Tums or like milk of magnesia? Like, it smells like that. I wasn't super impressed. I wouldn't be repurchasing this. This is why sometimes it's good to go back and revisit some of your old faves, because this is a Biossance Squalane plus Vitamin C Rose Oil. I can't remember the last time I used it, maybe, but it's been quite a few years since I used this. And it was one of the first vitamin C's I'd ever used. So like in my mind, it was amazing. So I decided to go back to it even though it was really expensive. And I went back to it and I was kind of like underwhelmed. I think this is a really good squalane and rose oil serum. It was very hydrating. This is really good to use when I wanted to like wash on my face because it was like oily but doesn't like break me out. But I just found that it wasn't the most potent vitamin C that I've ever used. If I'm going to be spending like over 80 Canadian, I want it to be a good vitamin C because I have other rose oils that like work really good. So yeah, for that reason, I probably won't be repurchasing it. That's why you try things. Again, up next we have the Innisfree Hyaluronic Acid. This is a green tea seed hyaluronic acid serum. I bought this at Walmart, so I thought it was affordable. You know when you're like at a store and you buy like a bunch of different stuff, so you don't notice the price of something? So I also think there wasn't a price ticker. So I was surprised later when I looked and it was $40. I didn't know they sold $40 serums at Walmart. That is all to say that a little does go a really long way. So I was using this serum for quite a while. It's pretty good. Like overall, I really liked it. The pump is really easy to use. Gives you the good amount of product. It sinks in well and easily to the skin and leaves it look hydrating and plump, which is what I want from my hyaluronic acid. I don't have any complaints except for the price. I just wish it was a little cheaper. My holy grail hyaluronic acid is the Good Molecules one. It's like $10 or $15 US. It's hard to get in Canada, but let's say conversion rate, let's say $20 Canadian. It's so good. And it's 20 bucks cheaper than this one. So that's why I just am not a big fan of really expensive hyaluronic acids, because I'm like, you can get good ones for cheap. This was on a really good sale at Sephora. Like if it was like 50% off or something like that, I would buy it again. I would recommend it. We've got 2 retinols. This was the first retinol I've ever had. This is the second one. I'm still newer to the retinol game. You know, I'm 27, so it's only been a little bit that I've been using retinol, but I'm already starting to learn about like what I like, what I don't like. So yeah, so this was the first one. This is the Dermalect Out Crease Retinol Trifecta Serum. I got this in my BoxyCharm. So when I used it at the time, I had nothing to compare it to, so it was hard for me to know if this was good or not, because I do find that's the case sometimes with skincare. Like the first time you use something, you're like, and then this is good, but then you use something else and you're like, whoa, that one's way better. So yeah, I noticed this was good at helping with my acne scarring, because retinol is supposed to be good for like dark spots, lines and stuff. So this was pretty good with helping with acne. Wasn't the best at like lines and stuff. The dropper wasn't very good though. Like product literally just like shot out of it. Dermalect isn't the most easy thing to find, and I just want to try other ones. Next is, I also got my BoxyCharm, but you can get this at Sephora. This is a Juice Beauty Stem Cell Anti-Wrinkle Retinol Overnight Serum. I didn't like the consistency as much. This is more of like cream serum than like a serum. I prefer like a serum over this like cream one. I'm using a Murad one that's like a similar texture. I don't like it as much. This is definitely stronger than that other one. It definitely helped with some stubborn dark spots, fine lines. Like I noticed a little bit on my forehead, it would make a difference. I got tech necklines. So far, no retinols have helped with those. I think this would be good if you have drier skin. You'd probably would like that more like creamy consistency. But yeah, I'm still on the hunt for a good retinol, so if you have a favorite one, let me know in the comments. I usually don't like to include samples unless they're like deluxe samples, just because I got so much stuff to talk about. If anyone has used this, the xoxo First Care Activating Serum, can you let me know what it's supposed to do? Because I keep on getting a bunch of these samples from Sephora. Every single time I use it, I'm like, what are you supposed to do? I don't notice a difference. Okay, and the final serum. This is the Biore Hair Oil Serum. I didn't use this very regularly until I started to want to gua sha more, and this is really good for doing my gua sha. It was a pretty nice oil. My only complaint is the packaging is horrendous. To be fair, I don't think this is a regular size. I think this is a deluxe sample, but it's literally just a hole, and trying to get oil out of it is impossible. That's why there's like still some left, because after a while I just gave up. I won't be repurchasing. It's not accessible, and it wasn't the most wow oil I've ever used. And that's a big thing for me, is I like things to be accessible. If it's hard for me to get, if I have to pay like shipping or duties or something like that, I'm not buying it again. We got a lot of moisturizers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. First, let's start off. I got 2 different is it CeraVe or CeraVe? CeraVe? I don't know. I probably could look it up, but I'm not gonna do it. We all know that. This is a moisturizing lotion, and this is a moisturizing cream. This is normal to dry skin. This is also normal to dry skin. I do notice a difference in the consistencies. Oh yeah, because there are different consistencies. Doy. I wasn't as big a fan of this one, even though it's supposed to be for like normal to dry skin. I actually didn't find it the most moisturizing. It almost like dried down to be matte, if that made any sense. I just didn't find it to be the most moisturizing, and this tub took me forever to finish, mainly because it was so thick that I only would use it when I was like really dry, which I have oily skin, so it's not very often. I much prefer the lotion compared to this one. This I used on my chest and shoulders. I've mentioned this before, but I have acne, so I usually like to use lotions that are meant for your face because they're generally unscented and not as harsh as like my heavily scented body lotions. It just helps with my acne, and this is a really good one. This is definitely a favorite, and I will be repurchasing it in the future. It's on the thinner side compared to the other one, but it's still very hydrating. It's quickly into the skin. You only really need a little bit, and because this is so big, it lasts forever. So yeah, I definitely will be repurchasing this one. Okay, up next we have two different Ren skincare ones. I get these in my BoxyCharm. First, this is the Ren Ever Hydrate Marine Moisture Replenish Cream. This didn't pass the acne test, so I used it on my body because I'd rather use something and have it break out my chest and back than in my face. It was fine. I just found that you really needed to use a lot. Like, I found myself pumping like a lot, and I can only imagine if I was using this on my face, I would also go through it pretty quickly. I wouldn't repurchase because, like I said, didn't pass the acne ingredient test, and I wouldn't use it on my face, and I'm not gonna spend this much on a body one when I could just get the CeraVe one. This one I also was kind of just like underwhelmed. Glow Daily Vitamin C Gel Cream, and I'm not a huge fan of gel moisturizers. Like I said, I have oily skin, but I just find that sometimes gels are like not hydrating enough, which is like a lot coming from me because, like I said, I have oily skin. I also just found that it took like forever to sink into the skin. So if I was gonna do like my makeup next, I found I was just like having to like wait for it to dry on my skin before moving on to the next step. That being said, both of them have pumps, which is really nice, my preferred packaging, and they both have really nice scents. So overall, I was just kind of underwhelmed by both. I don't think I'll be reaching out for any more Ren skincare moisturizers. Okay, let's talk about one that I did like. This is a Peter Thomas Roth Water Drench Hyaluronic Cloud Cream Hydrating Moisturizer. It was 30% off at Black Friday. So that I really liked. Yeah, it was really nice, but it was like the wrong time of year, like I mentioned, because since I got this during Black Friday, I was using it in the winter, and this is very lightweight, much more of like a summer moisturizer. I definitely think if I were to repurchase it, only in the summer, not in the winter. If you have oily skin, you probably would like this, but if you have more like normal combo dry, this definitely wouldn't be moisturizing enough for you. On the flip side, this Coco Kind Resurrection Polypeptide Cream was too much for my skin. It was just too thick. I think I was having some issues with it breaking me out. Switched to using it on my back and shoulders, and it was like fine. Yeah, I just think it's too thick for my skin type. You can even see like it's a thick gel, if that makes any sense. Yeah, this is just not meant for me. Won't be repurchasing it. This is a deluxe sample of the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Pink Juice Moisturizer. This is very scented, so if you don't like bright appearances, watch out for this one. It doesn't have the best acne ingredients, so I don't think I would repurchase. Overall, I liked it because I had a pump. It sank quickly into the skin. Definitely more of like a summer moisturizer because it's very thin in texture. In the winter, I don't think it would be hydrating enough. It wasn't bad, but because it's so scented, when I'm using scented moisturizers, I'm just worried it's going to break me out, so I won't be repurchasing. But we're going to finish with my Holy Grail moisturizer. I've already repurchased it because I love it so much. This is a Bioma Moisturizing Gel Cream. And this is a gel cream, so I find it's like the perfect happy medium for my skin, where it is moisturizing but not too thick or heavy, but not also too thin. I used this in the summer and I used it in the winter, and it's kind of like good for both. If my skin is feeling a little bit more dry, I just use a little bit more, but it's pretty good. It's affordable. I got this at Shoppers. I really like the packaging, the pink, and it's a pump, my absolute favorite. This is really good. Like I said, I've repurchased it already. Would recommend. I need to like speed things up here a little bit, but we're getting there. We got 3 eye creams. Where's the other one? Okay, we got 3 eye creams. I'm gonna say this, that it's very rare that I'm like wowed by an eye cream, because I find that they hydrate and then basically don't do any of the other claims, with the exception being this Kiehl's one. This is a creamy eye treatment, and it's supposed to be brightening, and because of the consistency, I don't know if you can really tell. I cleaned it out pretty well. It does have a little bit of a brightening effect, but the like texture is really weird. I would have to like stir it with my finger. So for that reason, I don't love it. Also, this is my travel one, So I don't know if like traveling and like using it over the extended period of time made it like weird as well. But I feel like I would try it again in the future just to see if like not traveling would be fine. I don't know. It was a weird one, but I think I kind of liked it. This one was pretty underwhelming. This is the Glow on the 5th Bye Bye Puffy Eyes. This was also a never-ending one. Like, there's so much product in this. It definitely was going bad by the end of it. Like, it was a different color. Just didn't, like, smell the same. I probably should have thrown it out. But, like, I was using this every single day, and it went bad on me. Also, it's supposed to be, like, a cooling eye balm. Wasn't cooling at all. I also just didn't like the packaging. It's literally just like a squeezy tube, so much of it would like come out. The like opening was too big, so yeah, wouldn't recommend this one. And then lastly we have the Murad Retinol Youth Eye Renewal Serum. The pump made it really easy to dispense the correct amount, blends well, sinks easily into the skin. I couldn't really say if this made a difference, which is interesting because I am using a retinol eye cream at night right now, and I do think it is making a difference. I just think this one just doesn't have enough retinol in it or what. But yeah, I was pretty underwhelmed by it. Next we have 2 face masks. I'm pretty awful at using face masks lately. I think because for a while I was having like skin issues, so I was hesitant to use masks. So I just wanted to kind of like stick to my routine to figure out like what was breaking me out and stuff like that. So I have a lot of masks and I'm trying to get back into using them up. At first we have this Saturday Skin Yuzu Vitamin C Sleep Mask. I definitely could not say if I noticed a difference with the brightening and the vitamin C because I didn't use this consistently, but it was nice and hydrating. It was like a jelly consistency, so it would kind of like sink into your skin but would still feel like a little tacky, which I don't mind too much if I'm just like going straight to bed. It had a nice bright yuzu scent, which I really enjoy. I enjoyed the mask, but I don't think I would repurchase just because it didn't like wow me. This on the other hand, this was definitely time for me to finish it because I know this is over 5 years old because I got this when I went to France in 2019. This is a Caudalie instant detox mask. They still sell this though. Caudalie products are cheaper there, and I thought it would be a fun little souvenir, and this is a really good mask. I really like the smell of it, and it's pink, which is really fun. This is just like a good old like clay mask, so helps clean out your pores, any gunk, without being like too stripping or irritating. I definitely would recommend it and would repurchase it. I just have some other masks that I need to finish because I just have a bunch of open masks. So yeah, I definitely want to finish a couple other ones, but I would repurchase and recommend this one. I had a moisturizer that I forgot to mention. This is a Gold Faden Solution Wake Up Overnight Regenerative Facial Treatment. It literally was just a moisturizer, and it wasn't even a very thick moisturizer, and it was very expensive, so I wouldn't recommend. We got 2 sunscreens. This is a Supergoop Mineral Sheer Screen. I'm happy to report, friends, that this is my new favorite facial sunscreen. If you know me, I struggle with sunscreens, especially on the face, because a lot of them break me out, and because of that, I don't like to wear them very often. I still don't wear sunscreen daily. I know I should, but I don't. But in the summer months, I do typically wear it more, and this is my go-to. It's not too greasy or shiny or dewing or mattifying, because I find that sunscreens nowadays are either mattifying or they're super dewy, and I'm like, I just want something that I can just wear and it's not either of those things. I want something, especially if I'm wearing it underneath makeup, that just like isn't altering the look of my skin, and this doesn't do that. It wears well by itself and underneath makeup, doesn't have a white cast, doesn't break me out. I will say my only complaint is that sometimes I find that I get like a little bit of like watery eyes, especially if I'm like really sweaty, but I can live with that. I can't live with breaking out, but I can live with watery eyes. I've already repurchased this because, like I said, it's the only sunscreen that works for me. Originally, I got this in the States, and since then they brought this one to Canada, so you can get it in Canada now. Okay, and the other one, this broke me out, so I got rid of it, but this is a Shiseido Urban Environment, oil-free, but it still broke me out. And finally, we can't do a skincare Empties without talking about my Mighty Patches. Honestly, the only reason why I don't have more of these is because the last time I filmed a product Empties, I had, I think, about like 4 or 5 boxes. So this is what I finished since my last product empties, but before my January empties, because I think in my January empties I had like 3 or 4 too. I go through a lot of these because fortunately I have acne prone skin. But yes, these are my favorite, the only one I really use anymore. I've talked about this so much, so I don't want to sound like a broken record, but these are really the best. They just suck out all of the gunk from a pimple, leave it looking less angry, a lot more manageable. Helps me not pick at it, not pop it, not touch it, because I have a really bad habit of when I know there's a pimple of like always touching it and everything. Original ones are what I wore overnight. I do find that they're stronger than the invisible ones, but the invisible ones are very invisible and better for during the day. So basically when I go to bed, I put one of these on, and then in the morning I'll put these on. That's how we have so many. So yes, my friends, we've been talking for so long that it is almost dark outside now. I was thinking of filming part 2 today, but I think that's gonna have to wait for another day because we're gonna run out of sunlight. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know down in the comments if you've tried any of these products, what you thought of them, if you have any recommendations for me, and stay tuned for part 2 where I'll go over makeup, hair, body lotions, all that fun stuff. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out when I post part 2. So yeah, that is it for today's video, friends, and I'll see you in another one super soon.